Hello, I'm Savannah if you are new here, and welcome to a video I'm really excited about. If you don't know, I was living in Seoul for 4 months and I am vegan. I absolutely loved how surprised I was about how much vegan food there is in Seoul. I feel like everyone who I spoke to really said that there wouldn't be a lot of options. I was happily surprised to see that there are so many vegan places and there are so many wonderful people that are vegan. I think it's just a matter of finding that community within any city, and it definitely exists within Seoul. I lived in a region called Yongsan, and a lot of the restaurants I'm going to be talking about, I would say, tend to be either around Yongsan or in Itaewon. There are a few exceptions to that, but I will say it's probably more focused on those just because I was closer. So first and foremost, definitely a little bit biased, but it is 100% my favorite vegan restaurant in Seoul is called byTOFU. It is owned by this lovely family, wife, her husband, and their sister, and they only have one employee who's a family friend. They are so kind and they remember every face that walks in. I will say in Seoul, something I was really touched by is how much people and workers remember who comes in. Even if you only go once, they will remember you the next time, and this is definitely no exception. byTOFU was by far the closest to the residence that I was living in. It was maybe like a 3-minute walk. Honestly, you just stepped out the door and it was in the perfect location, basically. My favorite dishes from them were the eggless sandwich. They definitely know that. I ordered that probably every time I went in, and I tried almost everything on their menu. I will say the sunrise bowl is also one of my favorites, and the fiesta salad is also up there on my list. Something I really like about byTOFU is that they are trying to make traditional Korean flavors vegan, and one of the things is in the sunrise bowl, the tofu is actually made in the same sauce or similar sauce that is used for a Korean dish. It is a Korean street food. I think it's so special. They also are really trying hard to make meat eaters realize that vegan food can be just as tasty. They change up the menu a little bit depending on the season as well, and their hours have shifted since I've been there. When I first arrived in Seoul in the summer, they opened a little bit later in the day, and then they would close a little later as well, but then near the winter they started to open up a little earlier and close earlier as well. They also have some really cool menu items like KFC fried chicken, but it's cauliflower wings, and those are special. They kind of only come up during certain seasons, and I swear if you're there during that time, please go try it. It is so good. And they would sell out of these wings every weekend, like early in the day, because they have a really small kitchen and a really small staff. Their prices range, I would say, from about 9,000 won to 12, 13,000. I think the range, or like the average, is about 11,000. I did actually do a project for my university on them. We had to pick a local organization, and I felt like they were the best fit for that. So that's why I said I'm a little bit biased, but to be honest, they're genuinely my favorite vegan place in Seoul. The next location that I know is loved by so many foreigners, well, vegan foreigners that come to Seoul, and even non-vegans, is called Plant. They have 2 locations. One of the locations is in Itaewon and one is in Hongdae. Itaewon is much closer to where I was. That location is really busy. There's constantly people coming in and out. There's sometimes a waiting line like outside of the shop. Not outside, it's kind of like in the stairwell going up. It's kind of hidden. So you do have to keep an eye out. It's this like little stairwell that goes up, and then you turn and it's a little glass window, and it's beautifully decorated. They also decorate it for the different holidays that are coming up and that kind of stuff. But the other location in Hongdae is much wider and there are far fewer people. I've noticed that there are more people in the evening, but overall it's not as busy. It's so filling, it's really big portions, and it's so like, it's just so good. I honestly don't remember one thing on the menu that I didn't like of theirs. It is truly suited for everybody. There's such a variety of dishes, and I think all of them are really, really great. Their prices are a little bit higher. I would say they are kind of around the 14,000, 15,000 range. And I guess that is kind of also why the portions are so big. You're definitely gonna leave there feeling really full. And I would say that the price is worth it. It's obviously not an everyday occasion, but I think everything in Seoul is really expensive. So it's a great place, and they have so many vegan desserts as well, and they constantly change. They also have holiday meals, so they have a Thanksgiving dinner platter. They had like Halloween related things, Christmas cookie boxes, the squash like hummus salad. Amazing. I think there's just too many dishes at Plant that I loved, but I can't really name my favorite because they're truly all like pretty equally good. The next place I really loved is called Vegetus. And Vegetus, I would say, if you're going on a date for any particular reason, is such a good spot. It has this really cozy atmosphere with like wood and wine and plants. It was also one of those places where I tried basically everything on the menu at some point or another. Oftentimes what I would do with all of these places is go with friends and then split things up so that we could try different things. With Vegetus, I would say my favorite meal, that's hard as well. I really liked their paninis. I think the caprese panini was really special. I liked the bulgogi panini, or like sandwich that they have. That is one flavor that is definitely something that you wouldn't get the chance to try if you're not eating meat. So I like that some of the vegan places tried to take these Korean flavors and make them accessible to vegan eaters. Vegetus' price range is, I would say, similar to Plant's, but the portions are considerably smaller. But it is, again, the kind of food that I feel like you're not trying to get stuffed, you're just going to have like a nice atmosphere. The next place is so special. Basically, they have all these Korean dishes. Everything at the shop is vegan. It's owned by Koreans as well, and they speak a little bit of English. They also will use Google Translate if you have questions and things like that. But they're really accommodating too, and they're overall really kind. It's a very small shop. There's only 2 tables, or maybe it's 3, but they have these little like cushions on the seats that are like warming, so that it's like cold outside and you have this like warm little seat and a little fireplace, which is really sweet. I just liked it. It felt really different from the other places. Another place is SIVA. I only went to this place once, but it does have quite a few options. I mean, it's entirely vegan, but it has vegan bubble tea, if that's something you're interested in. It has a lot of different, again, slightly Korean, but also some global fusion kind of meals. The next place is called Sunny Bread. I actually came here not for the food, I came here for the coffee, and turns out their food is really good. They have, I would say the highlight is not necessarily the meals. The meals are good. They're, I would say, kind of similar to Vegetus in that they're ish on the pricey side, not the biggest portions, but the thing that really just makes this place special are the cakes. The cakes and the desserts. It's not all vegan, by the way. It's a lot of vegan food, which is why I'm including it in this section, but it has amazing vegan desserts. One time I was leaving at closing and one of the girls offered me a cake because they had to get rid of some of it, so I got a free cake, which I was like, when stores do that, I feel like it encourages me to come back. And it's definitely a place that I did go back to. I think their coffee is probably one of the better ones, but I will have another video on coffees and cafes in general in Seoul and the ones that offer vegan milk, so if you are interested, look out for that and subscribe. The next place is something I cannot pronounce. I did translate it and it says Songtai, and it's in Itaewon. I believe it is a Thai place, but it has, I don't remember if it's all vegan or if it's mostly vegan, but it definitely has vegan options and a significant number of them. I would also say, again, I feel like Seoul is just a pricey city, and that's just my perspective at least, but it was, again, a little bit more expensive. So that is a place where I would say it's quite a bit more expensive, to the point where I shared one meal with my friend. but it does have some cool food, and I would recommend checking it out if you're in the mood for Thai food. And now I'm gonna list some honorable mentions, because there are a few places that are definitely not vegan, but they have like 1 or 2 menu items that are, and I feel like it's a good place to go if you know someone that eats meat. The first one I'll mention is called the Royale Food and Drink. They have this one tempeh sandwich that is just so good. It's just like really stuffed and really tasty. Oh, they also have a tempeh platter, which was really good as well. And I just liked it. I don't know, it's just a really good dish that I remember really fondly. The next place is called Banh Mi Lee, and if you haven't heard of banh mi, it is a type of Vietnamese sandwich. And actually in San Francisco, which is where I lived the previous year, there was a place that had banh mi that was vegan, and it's so beloved by the students at my university, Minerva. And when I found out there was a banh mi place in Seoul, I thought, why not try that? If you like banh mi, it's definitely somewhere to check out. They have a range of non-vegan dishes, but they also have other vegan options that I didn't try, but they do have appetizers like fried banana and things that are interesting and vegan, so definitely something to look at. I think they have spring rolls too. The next honorable mention is not in Seoul, but it was just so good I couldn't not leave it on the list, and it's called Vegenarang. I think I'm saying that right, but they are located in a very strange location. Like if you go, you have to go into a building and up an elevator, so definitely somewhere that's a little bit hard to find, but it's on like a really, I think it's one of the top floors of the building, and it has only vegan food. It's incredible. We got, when I went, like 3 or 4 different meals and had enough food for the whole weekend because the portions are huge. And I just remember thinking it was so delicious. I obviously only went once because I was in Busan for just a few days, but it lasted the whole time, and I was very grateful for it since it was pretty much the only vegan food that I had found nearby. And Seoul definitely has quite a few more vegan restaurants than the other cities that I went to. And then I guess an honorable mention slash a grocery place that you can get vegan things at is called Vegan Space, and that is along the same street as Vegetus. There's actually another vegan shop that I don't know the name of, but if you look out and you look at the poster, it will say that there's vegan kimbap and vegan pancakes, I think. That's something you can look at. I didn't try it, my friend did, she liked it a lot. And then if you keep going, there's Banh Mi Lee, and if you keep going, there's Vegan Space. So it's all one street, and actually higher up is byTOFU. It's like a curving street that goes up. And Vegan Space has vegan cheese, vegan meat. It's a very small shop, and it's, I would say, extremely pricey. These things are definitely imported and they're not popular. So the vegan cheese that they have there is like 14,000, which for those who don't know is about 14 Canadian dollars, and I would say about 12 USD. Maybe something you would only buy on special occasions, but it's there. And there are other products too that are not as inflated. So yeah, those are all the places I wanted to share with you. I hope you liked it. If you have any other recommendations, if you've been to Seoul or you know any place, definitely leave them in the comments below. I'd also love to hear which place you'd love to travel to the most. I am actually currently in Berlin, so I'm really excited to explore all the vegan options here, and I know there are going to be so many. I've already seen so many in the last day that I've been here. Also, if you've come all the way to the end of the video, thank you for being here. It means the world to me. Please subscribe and leave a comment below telling me what is your favorite vegan product. I'm curious. I think for me, the thing I've missed the most being vegan has been vegan cheese, so it's probably up there with my favorite things. Anyway, let me know what is your favorite. I would love to hear. And if you want, follow me on Instagram. I post, or I try to post regularly on there. You can also send me a message if you want to chat. And I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye.